I've been using the Sony a7C for a while now, and I keep using the same type of settings because I'm shooting the same type of videos, I'm shooting YouTube videos, but just recently I started shooting events, and more specifically, wrestling events. I just shot my third one, and on the very first wrestling event, I noticed some things that I changed up right away that I've never noticed, never paid attention to before, and it changed up my workflow and made things a lot easier. So I just want to share that with you. So if you're shooting events, maybe these things will help you along the way as well. Number one is up here on the top dial. There is 3 settings, 1, 2, and 3. Now, those are presets. Basically, you set all of your settings. So your exposure triangle, your ISO, aperture, shutter speed, also your white balance, your audio levels. You set up everything in advance, how many frames per second, and then you can save that as a preset on one of these dials. Now, when I first got this camera, I set it up for 24, 60, and 120 frames per second. And I thought, all right, so normal shooting and then slow-mo. The wrestling event that I was doing, they would sit at the table and they would commentate. And I would go back and forth between them at the table commentating and the wrestlers inside the ring. And I go back and forth, but they were not well lit. And the ring was very well lit. So I had to change my ISO when I came back and forth. And every time I'm trying to hit it and scroll and enter until I got to thinking about it, I was like, wait a minute, just set the preset. So I went in here and I tried to find the setting. How do I save the presets? Because I haven't done this for a while. And then I stumbled across the My menu. And that is a menu that you can customize to where you can add inside this menu all the different settings throughout the Sony menus, because you know exactly what you want to change, but the Sony menu is very big. And as you're scrolling through the entire menu, trying to find that one single thing that you need, it is much easier to consolidate it into one menu that you're going to use. And I've come to realize that there's at least 3 settings that I use on a regular during these events, and it would be good for me to have them in one place. Now, I haven't customized this a whole bunch. I've only customized it for the events that I'm doing right now. And the very first thing that I set in my menu is memory save. So you set up your settings in advance, then you come over to this, click on it. It'll bring this up, show you. You can choose 1, 2, and 3 where you want to save it at, and then you can hit enter, which I'm not going to do that right now. So that is how you do that. And then the second one that I have is audio record level. So when I'm shooting this event, I started shooting behind the scenes. And when I'm behind the scenes, I want the audio levels to be normal. So we're looking anywhere between 10 to 15. But when the event starts and the music is blaring, and the speakers are right in front of me, I have to knock that volume all the way down to 2. And I need to be able to access that quickly. So I put it right here in my menu, and I can click on that, and I can go from 15 down to 2, or I can take it back up to 15, hit enter, and there you go. And then another setting that I like to use is audio signals. Now, audio signals, that is the beeps in camera when you hit record. When I'm shooting these events and I'm running around the table or I'm running around wherever they're at, I don't want the beeps going off in their ear every time I hit record. I don't want to draw attention to myself. I want to be stealthy about it. Oh, I gotta... My brother called me. I'll have to call him back. So I don't want to draw attention to myself. So I shut the audio signals off. And then when I'm doing normal filming, like when I'm shooting YouTube videos, I turn them back on because I do like the audio signals. I just don't want them distracting during an event. And those are the 3 settings that I use in my menu. Now, I imagine that there are other settings that I could put in that menu that would be really beneficial for me, but I just started using it, and I thought I would share it with you because surely it's going to help somebody. Maybe this would speed up your workflow and help you along when you're shooting your own events, and I know that it helped me. You don't really need it until you do. And when you run into scenarios where it would actually help, that's when you should use it. So on the second page of my menu, you can click Add Setting, and then you can go through the different pages and find what you want to add to it. and then you can click add, which I'm not going to do that right now. You can also sort and delete page. So I'm assuming maybe I can add another page. I don't know. I haven't done that yet. I haven't really played with it very much. I just know that recently I've been using it and it's helped me out because it applies to the type of stuff that I'm doing right now. And if you're doing the same type of stuff, if you're shooting events, maybe you should try to utilize that too and see if it would help you out. That's all I got today. Like always, work harder and smarter. Stay diligent.